Hello, Blue Justin here, still Justin, still not blue, and it's time for the weekly haul. And I have a reasonable size number of pickups today. I wasn't expecting too much this week, but they arrive and I show them to you. And I hope you're going to like them. They're just over here, and let's get started. Right, let's get started with the latest addition to my Steelbook collection, and that is the latest Marvel release of, let's see if I can pronounce it vaguely correctly, Shang and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Yes, I know it's split lots of opinions. Then again, that's just like the Eternals. Some people love this one, some people love that one, some people hate them both. I'm going to watch them both and make my own mind up. Essentially, it's the Marvel Universe expanding itself into areas where people are a little bit less knowledgeable, certainly myself. Stepping outside the Avengers realm, which obviously leads them into the areas that lots of people are less familiar with. So they're opening themselves up to criticism, which, whether or not you like the film, I think is a good thing. They're trying not to stick with the same repetitive thing, but at the same time there are a lot of people who still want to see the Avengers characters continue, and I'm one of those too. But at the same time, you can't just keep on dipping from the same well. However, you've got to keep on trying, and I think it's good that Marvel are doing so. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I actually have heard quite a few people say that it's a very good movie. In fact, probably more than the people who I've heard say that they really don't like it. But really can't say any more about it because I haven't seen it yet. And it does have, by the way, Atmos, and just as some extras, we've got gag reels, deleted scenes, commentary, which was nice to have a commentary, and a couple of featurettes. Next one I'm picking up was an import, very difficult to get hold of. It's an erotic thriller called Jade. It stars, I believe, Linda Fiorentino, who was also in the erotic thriller Last Seduction, which is one of my favourite movies of all time. I think that's probably why I ended up trying to track this one down way back when I first saw that and picked this up, or saw it on, rented it on VHS. Yeah, I'm that old. I know. I do look it. Interesting thing that I did only find out actually when I was looking a bit further into it was that this is the same, I think it's screenwriter, yeah, as Basic Instinct. So you can see where the screen skills are coming from, and this is a little bit before it, and going to push towards the edge. I don't think this has ever been released on Blu-ray in the UK. I think it might be out of print in the US even, and thus it was very, very difficult to get hold of. And this is an upgrade from the DVD, which is a lot easier to get hold of. But I wanted the Blu-ray, obviously, because Linda Fiorentino is one of my favourite actresses. This is another import. I'm doing a little selection of imports here, and this one doesn't appear to have hit a lot of people's radars at all, and there might be a reason for it, of course. And this is called Vampira. Vampira. Die Jagd beginnt. Obviously that's the German title because it's a German import. In actual fact, I think Germany is the only place that's released it on physical media, so that's the title given with it. It approximately translates as Vampire, the hunt begins. Jagd being hunt. I definitely know that from my World War II knowledge. Jagd tigers, hunt tiger hunters, hunting tigers, whatever. This one's a little bit of has a little bit of difference in the sense that it's based on, which is it? Whose mythology is it? Oh, it's a Filipino vampire, which actually I did know about from my ancient history of playing Dungeons and Dragons, where the Filipino vampires have this strange thing where their head detaches from their body and floats around, dripping entrails and looking icky and terrifying people before it bites them and kills them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to actually seeing this, though I have heard that the special effects are certainly not up to the intentions of what it probably hoped to be, and it's rather B-rated when it comes to the amount of money they put into it, so that's the way it goes. And if there was a small break there, that was because I sneezed horribly. And here we have another German import, and this one's called Nurse. Now, obviously, sexual type cover and 18 rated. Essentially, she's a nurse by day. Everybody thinks she's absolutely lovely, and by night she uses her sexual prowess to take revenge and bring cheaters to justice stroke death. And one of the younger nurses who's just joined the department starts to suspect what she's up to, and she has to outsmart her long enough to keep on going to bring the biggest cheater to justice. I believe this one might have a reversible cover, so I'm just going to do that. I think I might have to have a little cut here to get the sides off, whatever. Okay. Right, yeah, the plastic is off, and oh, I'm unpleasantly surprised that in actual fact there is no reversible cover. I'm actually surprised because I've seen the cover to this one without the logo on and without the uncut statement, which I believe was the same release. So maybe at one point it was released without without this extra information or with the reversible cover, but they don't do it now. Bit of a shame. Oh well, I shall live with it. Still looking forward to seeing the movie. It does seem like it actually, despite the rather blatant sexuality, whatever. It still has a plot to base that on. I shall get round to that later. Next one is one that I think a lot of people have been looking forward to. Well, the title, and a lot of people haven't, and I shall just get on with it. And that is, does it say my name? Hang on, I'll just try to peel off the HMV label. And it's the Steelbook for the Suicide Squad. Yeah, this is the HMV exclusive, well, exclusive for this country, Steel. I've seen it and compared it to the Warner Brothers shop one, and to be honest, even I think that the Warner Brothers shop one is probably better, but I did not see it before I ordered this, and I just stuck with having this one once I'd ordered it. It does have, to be honest, if I'm to be like Big Paulie thought, I don't mind all this quite busy other characters in the middle, but it would have been nice to spread them out right to the edge. I don't see the point in all this black around the edge, especially since it's not like a central debossing of the whole edge, or you haven't got the characters as a lenticular in the middle or something like that. So I don't know why they seem to push everything in from the edge, but it does seem to be quite difficult to get hold of, and I haven't seen it yet, so I shall look forward to seeing that one. What does seem to me to be odd is that the splitting of opinion on Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad, this one, so many people all of a sudden out of the closet are going, oh, I actually like Suicide Squad. Now, it certainly wasn't, I couldn't find anybody at the time it was released that would say that, but lots and lots of people now saying that they actually quite like it, and they really didn't like this one. And there are lots of people who are still sticking with their original thought of, compared to when they saw Suicide Squad, the first one, the Suicide Squad, this one is so much better. There doesn't seem to be much meeting of minds in the middle. All I know is that I wish that they not done the titles as Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad. It's so difficult to, when you're talking about one, and it's so easy to get muddled up when you're talking to someone and not sure which one you're talking about. It's a bit like talking about Predator and the Predator. Oh, please, people, at least give us a subtitle. Right, anyway, that was really nice to see. And what else we have to hear? We have another import. This one is from the Scandinavian imports. They're all the same release, I believe, for Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Finland. I think I'm getting those flags right. And this particular one is for Name of the Rose. There's a reason I got this one, and it's a very straightforward reason, that it was incredibly expensive to get on Blu-ray outside of the Scandinavian copy, and since it's the same film, same soundtrack, it was stupid not to. So what did this one cost? Name of the Rose. Yeah, under a tenner, and I've seen the American or one, and I'm not sure if there's a British one even or UK one even released. But I'm sure I've seen like a US one, something like that, going for around the 30, 40 plus mark. It's just ridiculous when you can pick them up for this, unless you are obviously in the States, and I don't know whether it's region locked or not. Quite often it'll say that it is when it's not. But anyway, absolutely excellent film. Sean Connery doing a very, very good job. It's got a making of. Luckily, some of the special features are relatively well explained in English. Theatrical trailer, and it's got a commentary, which is nice to see always. So, really looking forward to rewatching this one. Haven't seen it in an absolute age. Well, I think I have the DVD somewhere. So, please, if you haven't seen it, it's worth watching. Very, very much worth watching. Now, one I haven't seen, but I don't know whether it's worth watching, is The Name of the Rose. This is a TV mini-series, as I understand it, of the same stories, and I love to compare the two. It's Umberto Eco who wrote the original novel that both of these were based on. So it will be interesting to see whether they add more because they've got more time and space to spread it out. Obviously, that's film length of, not sure, but it's not a hugely long film. Can't see the 131 minutes, so it is actually just over 2 hours film, so it's actually a little bit longer than I remember it. Obviously a good film, so I don't remember it being long and still enjoying it. This one is being a series, has got a 400 minutes runtime, so it has a little bit more chance to go into the depths of the characters. Whether or not it succeeds in beating out the fact that Sean Connery and the F. Murray Abram, the other actors that are are superior actors potentially. Certainly Sean. I mean, gosh, let's face it. I don't know what will even out the depth of being able to have the depth of storytelling, or whether it's got the skill and experience of the actors. I really can't know until I actually get to see it. So that's that. Going on to DC's Legends of Tomorrow. This one is, I think, like one of mine last week, is advertising the Aquaman cinema release. That was, I think that was the Arrow. So Arrow season 4. No, Flash season 4. That was the expensive one, which had the similar sticker on the front. This one probably has the similar crossover episodes. A crossover episode. Yes, it specifically states it's got the some crossover episodes, and it's also got a featurette about the crossover episodes for Crisis on Earth X. And so I thought I would start to catch up, because I only have season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow. I know this is season 3, so I jumped one. I have ordered, well, I ordered season 2 and season 3 at the same time, but season 2 wasn't in stock or similar, therefore will be turning up in time for next week's haul. This one's quite interesting. This is the film of Assassination Classroom. Now, I don't know if you've been watching long enough, and if you haven't, go back and check my earlier videos. Go on. And this is a very interesting piece of anime about a being that destroys half the moon, turns up and says, if you can kill me within the next year, then you're all okie dokie. But he turns up and teaches school, and the government give his pupils that are being taught his assassination techniques free rein to try and kill him, but they don't want to because he's their favourite ever teacher. I'm not sure whether this is how this quite fits into the series anime. It says it's about looking back. I think it's done by a different company, so I don't think you can. It's not going to necessarily match up 100%, but it's about looking back at that series and the events that happened within the year. So with huge amounts of flashbacks, that sort of thing. I really won't know until I've watched it and them. I intend to watch them first because either it's a retelling in flashback format of the whole series, which I've been told it tries to pack in a little bit too much. You don't get the depth of characters coming out, or the others definitely come before it, so I should definitely watch this after I watch the series. But yes, it's very strange piece of anime, and it's still quite very popular though. Looking forward to that. Next one I picked up was Archive. Now I know this has been relatively cheap in the past, and I've probably had maybe a little bit more than I could have picked it up for if I picked it up at a peak time, but I didn't, and it was in the right place at the right time, if you know what I mean. All about a roboticist who's on the verge of a breakthrough, putting AI brains into perfect or near perfect robots or androids. He's on number 13, and each one is increasingly advanced version of his wife who died in a brutal car crash. And is he playing God? And how much that goes into. I hear the visuals are absolutely incredible. Though it might be, I'm definitely going to watch it side by side with another movie, because the plots to me sound really rather similar, and that is the movie Replicas with Keanu Reeves in, where I believe his wife dies in a car crash and he tries to move her thoughts and memories into a replica, because he's a super scientist, similar. So I don't know whether what order they came out in. I doubt whether, to be honest, whether one copied the other. quite often it's just a very strange thing that these things come out round about the same time. And in actual fact, if you look into it, it's just luck. So anyway, I am going to start with I think it's the last two for this week. And next one is High School DxD. This is High School DxD Born, which is essentially season 3 because it's named after, as I've said before, they name their series rather than necessarily write season 3, whatever underneath. I've recently been, in fact, I'm presently watching season 1, and despite the very famous fact that it's a lot of quite rude, that's the high ratings, fan service type nudity, etc., it really surprised me by having a very strong plot to hang it all on. I mean, if they'd missed out those parts, then it would still have a very good story to tell. I don't think they necessarily should have missed out those parts, and not just because I want to see them, but because it actually fits in an awful lot with the characterization. So I don't think that taking things away like that is necessarily the right thing to do. But yeah, so I've got season 2 already lined up, ready to go. Season 4, I believe, is out. Season 5 exists and has been transmitted, but I don't think it's available on physical yet. But I've picked up season 3 in preparation. This one does come with a digital stream type thing from Funimation, though I don't know quite how that works yet. They're all uncut and uncensored. That's probably to combat the fact that the Australian version cuts them all over the place. And it does include like they cut out or not cut. They take the scenes that are the bits that are slightly dodgy and put them all into one collection, if that's what you're into. I personally like to watch everything in context. It's got 6 of the OVA shorts, and I'm still not quite sure why. I know that OVA is different than television output, but then again, I've seen OVAs that are as long as television outputs. So technically, I'm not sure there's actually that much difference. And you've got yet again the textless opening and closing songs, trailers and promos, that sort of thing. And finally, this is another little anime that I picked up, which is Devil May Cry. It's got nice extras, interviews, again with the clean opening and closing animations. It's got cutscenes, footage from the game, a preview from the game at the one of the big expos at the game shows from 2006, and some trailers. And the central story is that the protagonist is part monster, part man, or part demon, part man, probably. Must spend his time fighting the demonic forces of darkness, brandishing his sword, and always loaded guns, ebony and ivory. Oh, how sweet. Name your guns ebony and ivory. They are together in perfect harmony. Bang bang. The mighty fall. He's more than happy to send demons back to hell, especially where there's money to be made. Wildly popular video game is now a series, and there's no sympathy for the devil, and that's on the back. That wasn't my extra throwing in another song. So so yeah, obviously heavily video game based, but I think where it comes to video game based, it's going to work a lot better in the anime type universe rather than necessarily being transferred across to live action, which they seem to do quite often for Hollywood productions, obviously, because they're not so good on the anime stuff. So yes, that's my collection for this week. I really hope you enjoyed them. I'm really looking forward to watching all of them, and I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. It really does help the channel and make me pleased. And if you want to see any more, especially since I've just been tagged to do another video, then please hit the follow me and hit the notification, and therefore you'll know when I finally get around to doing it, and hopefully that won't be long. So in the meantime, please keep on enjoying TV, all the movies, going to the cinema, all that sort of stuff, watching everybody's YouTube videos, and I really hope you're having a great time. Cheers.